Hi there, Narda here. For those of you who don't know me, I was thinking of doing a little bit of a background on my story. Ek was gebore in Suid-Afrika en het daar groot geword en my moedertaal is Afrikaans. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 28 years old. I was only 2. And she passed away when I was 7 on my first day of grade 2 when she was only 33 years old. My mom was one of 4 girls in her family, and she has 2 sisters that have had breast cancer, and fortunately both of them are still alive. But there's a very, very strong line of breast cancer in our family coming from a few generations back. When I was in my early 20s, I was traveling and working on a cruise ship when I met my husband, Brian, and we fell in love and moved to Canada together. We got married when I was only 23, and I had my first daughter at 26. When my second baby was about 14 months old, I discovered the lump. It was on my 30th birthday. So knowing my family history, I went to the doctor the next day because I knew right away it was breast cancer. We started with all the standard testing, and we did mammograms, ultrasound, biopsy, and finally got the news that it was stage 2 breast cancer because it has gone to the lymph. And then the standard procedure back then was a double mastectomy, 6 rounds of chemotherapy. And at the time it was decided that I didn't need radiation, so about 4.5 years later, I almost got to my 5-year mark, I found another lump, and we did a round of radiation. And then about 1.5 years after that was when I was skiing one day and I fell and I broke a rib, and I ended up going to the doctor with the pain from the rib, and a CT scan for the rib showed that there was metastasis on the liver. The thing that a lot of people don't know about breast cancer is that there is 2 different types. There's breast cancer and there's metastatic breast cancer. Breast cancer is curable. Lots of times people can live for many more years after they've been diagnosed with breast cancer, especially if you find it early enough. But metastatic breast cancer is incurable. There is no cure for it. It depends on where it spreads to, how long you have to live. In my case, the liver is the worst place it can spread to, and it goes really quickly. Because if your liver fails, your body dies. I did the standard care again, which was chemotherapy. This time around I did a different one, and after a few rounds or a couple of months, the tumor still grew and it was not responding. Then they switched me to another chemotherapy, which very quickly showed that it was not working because my tumor grew quite a lot in that time. It's now gone from 10 centimeters to 18 centimeters. I got to the point where my oncologist told me that I had weeks left to live. And sometimes you're expected or asked to give up, and I was not ready to give up yet. I love life and I want to live, and I need to be here for my kids. They need their mother around. So I was not okay with what they gave me, and I wanted to fight this and not take no for an answer and not give up. So that is why we reached out to other doctors and the internet and friends who were doing research, and we finally decided on the treatment that's offered in Germany, the regional chemotherapy, which they do in Canada, but not for metastatic breast cancer. And so we decided to go and do this treatment in Germany. So what regional chemotherapy is basically giving the chemo just to the area of the cancer. And by doing that, they can raise the amount by a lot. They can give a much bigger amount of chemo to that area. Because if they were to give that amount of chemo to the whole body, it will kill you. So instead of doing it systemically throughout your whole body, it just goes to that area and it doesn't harm the rest of your body as much. The standard care in Canada for metastatic breast cancer stops at a certain point. And as good as our free healthcare in Canada is, I do see a very big gap that needs to be filled and a very big shortfall. Because there is a lot of women that get metastatic breast cancer and there's no hope. It's just, you're just told that it's incurable. Well, there is other things out there, and I do want to fight for that in Canada. I want to fight for better care and more options for women with metastatic breast cancer. And the unfortunate thing about the Germany treatment is that it is extremely expensive. When I was first diagnosed in 2011, I was finally sent for genetic testing, and it ended up that I have the BRCA2 gene mutation. People are becoming more aware of the gene mutation, but I do feel that there's still a long way to go for awareness about the gene mutation. When I was first tested, they only tested me for 2 genes, but now they would test me for 11. So things change rapidly every year. And I'm hoping that by the time my girls are young adults, that there will be a lot more options for them. Cancer is such a complex word because there is such a big world behind it. And a lot of it we don't understand yet, and a lot of people are very ignorant about cancer and what it is and what causes it. And a lot of cancers are caused by lifestyle, but some cancers are genetic. And the BRCA2 1 and 2 mutations is a genetic mutation. It basically means that where a normal person have the 2 genes to protect it from getting breast cancer, with somebody with a mutation, the 1 is gone. There is no protection from the cancer growing. So it is extremely important that if somebody has a family history of breast cancer, that they go for the genetic test. And if you find out that you have the gene mutation, like my cousin who have the same mutation as me, you can do prophylactic surgeries and go on hormone therapy, and you never have to have cancer. Because if you have the gene mutation, your chance of getting breast cancer is 85%. If you do the prophylactic surgeries, your chances go down to 2%. This year has been a very hard year for me and my family. Extremely hard time to go through. But in all of this, I feel extremely blessed because of everybody's support and love. And it's really, really amazing to see what can be done when people get together. And I feel very, very fortunate to live in Collingwood and be a part of this wonderful community. I cannot express enough how thankful I am for each and every person. And I might not always be able to get back to every single person, but I just want to say a big thank you to everybody. It's been so overwhelming, the response. People have been raising money in all kinds of different ways and sending us messages. And it's just overwhelming. And I just want to say what's happening with my story and everybody's support. This is what love is, and this is what it's supposed to be like. And thank you to all of you. And I say, let's keep on doing this for everybody that needs help and love, that's going through hard times. It makes such a big difference if people get together. I mean, giving $10 is not going to hurt you, but if everybody gives $10, it makes a very big difference. So it's all the little pieces together that is making a huge difference, and it's giving me the opportunity to have a bit of a longer life with my family. And for that, I'm extremely thankful. Thank you. I'm not done yet, and I will be hunting for a cure.